You are listening to A Scary State, and this week we're talking about Louisiana. So, Lauren,
Yes, Kenzie.
let's get scary.
Okay, I have a story for you. I know I told you part of the story, but I'm going to tell you the full story.
Okay.
And it's a cautionary tale for others. All right.
But nothing happened.
Okay, so Joe and I are sitting downstairs watching TV at like 7:30. I can't remember what day of the week it was. It was Sunday because we had just gotten your plants. I remember because I watched your plants over the week and they are thriving.
They are. They're doing wonderful.
Thank you. I was so scared. I would set alarms on my phone to remember when to water them.
The pink one is like drought resistant, so it's really hard to kill.
Good.
The marigold she's a sensitive soul.
Mom and I were talking though, and she's like, if you kill one, just go buy a new one and replant it. And I was like, I can with the marigold, but I don't know what the pink one's called.
I don't know either.
But I was like, but she would know, Mom. I was like, she knows how many like buds are on it and she knows which ones are about to sprout.
No, I don't.
Oh, so I really could have.
You totally could have.
Because like what people do is like if their fish dies, they'll just buy a new fish.
Right. Yeah.
Well, anywho, these are your original plants.
Okay, cool.
They're thriving. Okay, so anywho, so we're sitting downstairs watching TV and we all of a sudden hear this like alarm going
All
off.
of a sudden, you hear this degrading, annoying voice.
What's that from?
It's a TikTok.
Oh, that's why I wouldn't know it.
Good Lord.
Anywho, so Joe checks upstairs and it's our carbon monoxide like detector. So we have one up in our bedroom. There's one right there too. We just added to this room. And we have one downstairs. The one downstairs isn't going off, but the one upstairs is going off. And so we open all the windows.
Odd, right?
That was very odd.
Yeah.
We were like, why would it be going off in one, whatever. So we like open all the windows. I call Mom. I'm like, what do we do? So pretty much she was like, for peace of mind, you can always call like the non-emergency number, just like make sure. Or I came up with that. I don't know. But anywho, we call the non-emergency number and they come out and they do like the cops or the police. No, the fire trucks.
There you go.
So we have a huge fire truck here. All these firefighters come in. Bree messaged me because I was telling her about it. She's like, find a cute firefighter from Kenzie.
You know, and here I was just about to ask you if any of them were cute.
Well, Joe made me take Roy out. So I took Roy out as they're like inside doing whatever they were doing. And I don't think he saw me walking up to the back door. But as I walk up to the back door, he locks it. And I was like, bitch. So I'm like, I'm not going to like awkwardly knock on the back door while he's like having a conversation with the firefighters so I can look inside. But I'm like, do they think I'm just a random woman standing out here outside of this house? So I sent text to Joe and I was like, let me in. You locked me out. It's humid out here. And I was like, if someone didn't know the context, this would look really bad. But anywho, they check every room with their detectors. They couldn't find anything anywhere. We don't have gas appliances, so it couldn't have been that.
Oh, well,
I know.
what else makes carbon monoxide?
Well, we looked it up. It can be soil.
Okay, not from 2 times. Don't even.
But we have no idea. We thought maybe our next door neighbor, because it's where our detector is. It's like on the wall that shares with our neighbor's wall.
No one has gas. And
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know about that, but I would think not.
Right.
Like if we don't and we're in a like townhouses, I assume they wouldn't. But they searched around the house. They searched every room and everything was fine.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah. And then I went on Amazon and I bought 3 more.
Of course you did.
Detectors. But that's my cautionary tale. Get carbon monoxide detectors.
And you too can have a freak out for no reason.
It's good for you, not the carbon monoxide, the detector, because carbon monoxide can kill you. Because, okay, if you don't want to hear a spoiler alert for Bates Motel, skip ahead like 30 seconds.
What?
So Bates Motel is a TV show that we were watching.
Right.
It's actually so good.
Isn't that old?
It's based off of Psycho.
No. But that TV show's...
Oh, yeah. This was our 3rd time watching it through.
Right. So, spoiler, really?
Well, for people who might not have watched it yet. Like, I know you haven't watched it.
And I'm not going to.
But it's really good. But anywho, in the last season, one person dies because of carbon monoxide. So that night, I bought some on Amazon.
Well, I think too, like...
And then I bought more.
And when there's like a fire, usually some people die before, like, either from like smoke inhalation or carbon monoxide.
Yeah. So it's
I'm
creepy.
not saying it's not deadly, and I'm not saying it's not good to have those.
It's the silent killer.
Yeah.
But so paranoid Joe and Lauren, we were like, I'm not the best person to ask if I'm not feeling well at this particular moment. So when they asked on the phone, they're like, "Are you guys like, is anyone feeling sick?" And Joe goes, no." And then when we were laying down in bed, I was like asking him, I was like, "Are you feeling okay? Does your head hurt? Like, do you feel sick?" Because that could all mean like carbon monoxide.
Sure.
And he goes, "No." And I said, "Okay, we should be good." He goes, "Well, now you're freaking me out." And I was like, "I'm just asking." He goes, "We're gonna sleep downstairs." So we slept in the living room for one night. And then the next night he was like, "It was kind of fun. It's like a sleepover." So we slept there one more night. And then we had like our window open, which I know goes against so many true crime things, but we had to have it open. And then I finally
I mean,
closed
did
it
you
the
have
other
it like
day.
open or just like
It was like
cracked?
cracked.
Yeah, that's okay.
And we
And
have
it's
so
on the
many
second floor.
and we have so many trees that you couldn't even tell if it was open anyways.
Right,
Like
and this
in front of us.
it's not a first floor window,
Correct.
so that's good.
Right. That would not have flown. But yeah, so then I finally closed it one night and I said, "Well, if we don't wake up tomorrow, we know what happened." And we woke up and we're fine.
Wonderful.
Thank you. I know. So, how was your trip to Florida?
It was okay. It rained, and there's really no sense in going to Orlando if you're not doing anything that's popular in Orlando.
So what'd you guys end up doing?
We went to Titanic Museum.
Fun.
That was kinda cool.
Did you get to do the thing where you put your hand in the water?
No, but we did get to I touched an iceberg.
Ooh.
But, like, they had, like, a lot of, like, legitimate artifacts.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. They had, like, a lot of legitimate artifacts.
Yeah.
Like, pieces of, like, a sink, plates.
Oh, wow.
You got a card at the beginning of, like, a person.
Oh, to see if you made it or not?
Yeah, both Dad and I made it. My husband
Oh!
didn't, but
Your
I did.
fictional husband.
Yeah, my fictional husband didn't make it, but I did.
Oh, that's exciting.
Both survived.
Good.
It's, like, kind of eerie because, like, it's, like, the last part of it, and there's these giant walls that have all these names,
Ugh.
and it's broken up into first class, second class, third class, and then crew.
Oh my gosh.
And it's the disparity between the amount that was on there versus the amount that didn't make it
Yeah,
is crazy.
I bet.
Is absolutely crazy. But I was on the Titanic because my husband wanted to move us to Canada,
Ah.
and I had a bad feeling,
Oh, no.
and I forget exactly what it said, but it was something with, like, having a bad feeling about it and, like, thinking it's, like, that's crazy that you're saying it's indestructible.
Right.
It's not.
Oh.
So, but yeah, it was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, and, like, you know how in the movie, the people who are playing the violins, like, they sit?
Yeah.
That actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there was a frame thing, and it had their story of, like, and it was talking about how, like, oh, yeah, like, they famously, like, stayed and played until the end. I was like, "Oh my god, that actually happened?
That's wild.
That's crazy." So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
otherwise, how was the weather there?
The first day was terrible. It rained the whole day. There was a lot of thunderstorms. We went to Cocoa Beach, which is, like, an hour away.
Okay.
Then we came back, and there was, like, a storm over there, and a storm over there, and a storm over here, and I see, like, a plane, and I looked at my dad, I go, "See? They do fly in thunderstorms."
Did he say they don't?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, they do.
I was like, "Look, right there. Do you see
Planes
that?"
planes are built that they can be struck by lightning and they'll be fine.
Mhm. Yeah, no, not me, though.
Yeah, if you get struck by lightning, you'll die.
I won't be fine mentally if my plane gets struck by lightning. It's like taking one fear of flying and my fear of being outside in a thunderstorm and combining them into the ultimate anxiety.
But think of it this way, too. You've already survived being out in a thunderstorm, and you made it.
That doesn't take away the fear. If anything, it emphasizes it because, like, yeah, it's fucking scary.
That's what Mom tries to say when she's like, "But you've already been stuck in an elevator. You've already gotten over that fear."
My mom tries to do that as well. And
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
I
not
don't think you understand how a fear works.
amplifies the fear because you
Right.
know it can happen, and now
Right.
that's what
I
you're
was like,
afraid of.
if anything, I've just proved myself right.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I was panicking. Our flight was at 4 the next day. And, like, I tried to tell my dad, I was like, I don't fucking fly in the summer. Why? Thunderstorms.
Thunderstorms.
And where did we go? Thunderstorm Central. And they build up. They always happen early afternoon.
Yeah.
Or late afternoon.
Always.
And our flight was at 4. I was like, that's when it's going to happen. That's when they're supposed to get there. So he changed the flight to 8 a.m. Which it sucked to get up at 4 a.m., but I was like,
If it keeps me out of a thunderstorm, I'm fine.
skies were clear.
Beautiful.
I slept most of it.
Oh, good.
So, yeah. And then I had to get a stupid rental car.
Yeah. Rental cars do suck.
Yeah.
Because it's not set to anything that you want.
No, and because I didn't think I was going to have to get a rental car, I
Mm,
didn't take any of the shit out of my car.
yeah, right.
So I don't have my Easy Pass. I don't have my windshield thingy. And this is a black car with black leather seats.
Ooh, and it's been hot.
Yeah.
It's been hot.
Like I pulled in forward because then it gets a little bit more shade.
Yeah, it does.
And I never pull in forward.
No, you don't. You're a strict backup person.
Yeah. In fact, I back up so much that I suck at parking forward. I can't do it anymore. I lost my iPad pen.
Oh,
It's not the same.
it's not.
So, Dad was like, okay, note to self, don't come to Florida in the summer. And I was like, don't fly ever in the summer, Dad. Like, this is a prime example of how little planning my dad does. He does either so much planning
Mm-hmm.
or he does none at all. There's no in between.
That's where you come in.
I have to because he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the beach. It's like maybe an hour away. And I was like, well, we need chairs and we're flying. So we're not gonna obviously bring beach chairs
Oh,
with
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
He's like, well, we'll find out when we get there. I'm like, no, we're gonna find out before we get there because if we can't do it, we're not going.
Right.
He was like, well, you can't just sit on the sand. I'm like, you can't either.
Right. Yeah. Mister.
Right. I was like, neither one of us are built for just sitting on the sand. So no. And he was like, yeah, you're right. I said, I know.
I know.
Yeah. Food wasn't that good.
Oh, that's
It
unfortunate.
was subpar.
Oh,
And it was a little disappointing.
that is disappointing.
The water, ugh,
Just gross looking.
smelled bad, tasted bad.
Ew.
And like we stayed at like a timeshare thing. So it was like kind of like an apartment
Mm-hmm.
type hotel room. And like the first day we had gone out to dinner. We went to Outback. That was the only like really decent meal we had. And I felt so stupid because everyone's like, what are you doing in Orlando?
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, we don't know yet. Like,
We're just kind of here for now.
I was really hoping Dad would surprise me and be like, yeah, we can go to Harry Potter World.
You should have asked to do that.
I did.
Oh.
Looked up the prices and it would be like almost $400 for both of us to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I get it.
Yeah.
The Titanic thing was $70 for us
Oh,
both.
mhm.
to
Yep.
go.
Yep. There you go.
Because he could get a senior discount.
Nice. I told Mom to start doing the like ARP discounts
Yeah.
because she didn't want to accept the fact that she can like get those discounts now. Except
She's
you,
not 65 yet.
you can get it before.
Yeah, but like,
She got her card sent to her when she was like 55.
well, yes, the AARP thing. But most places, if you get like the senior discount.
Oh,
it's
senior.
usually-
She would do the AARP discount.
I think that, I don't know if they had, it just said senior discount, but you had to be 65 and up.
Nice.
That's typically what I've seen.
Oh, well, she wouldn't have got that. But she's started to use like the AARP discounts.
Yeah.
But it took her a long time to accept the fact that she could use them.
Sure.
Because she's like, well, I don't want to be that old that I can use it. I said, it's discounts. Use it.
Hell yeah. Yeah. When I was looking at the tickets, I looked at my dad. I was like, you're 65, right? And he's like, yeah. I was like, cool. Senior.
He probably hated that.
I was like, one adult, one senior. It's like maybe $5 cheaper.
But hey, $5 whole.
Yeah.
That's a whole coffee.
It was fun hanging out with my dad. We played cards. I learned how to play spades and hearts. And for those that know how to play it, you're probably thinking, but it was just the two of you. And that is right. We only played with 13 cards, which again, if you know how to play, you're like, what? That doesn't make sense. We made it work.
Good.
So I don't like hearts.
Okay.
I don't like anything where I am trying to not get points.
Oh, okay.
I hate anything that's backwards like that. I do much better when I'm trying to get points.
Okay.
So spades is more my jam.
So then golf, kind of, because you don't want a lot of
I
points. for
fucking hate golf. I hate it so much.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
hate
a big fan.
putt-putt. I hate golf.
Oh, I love putt-putt.
I get so frustrated. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Anything that takes more than like 3 tries to get it done, no.
If you were better, it would take 3 tries.
But I'm not. So I don't want to.
Moral of the story.
Yeah, like I go bowling with bumpers because everyone will be a gutter ball. And then I'm like, well, what's the point in this? This is not fun for me. I don't want to lose every time.
Of course not.
Very competitive.
No.
I lost all the cards we played. Every single one. Lost them all.
I bet you loved that.
My dad was like, you usually win. I'm like, you see why I'm so upset right now?
Oh my God.
Because I normally win. And I'd be so close to. We played one final round of Rummy 500 and I was winning. I was kicking his butt. And he just pulled ahead and won at the last second.
Ugh. Rude.
Exactly. So
much fun your kid win.
Yeah. That's what I said. That's literally exactly what I said. I was like, I looked at him, I go, what happened to letting your kid win? And there was a couple games we played, and he was like, I was trying to help you win. And he still lost. I was like, I hate this game.
At that point, that's your fault.
Right. He's like, I was trying to give it to you. And I was like, I didn't know that that's what you were doing. He's like, well, but now you lost. And I was like, yeah,
I did. All right, should we jump into Louisiana?
Please.
In January of 1811, one of the largest slave revolts in U.S. history erupted along the German coast, just outside of New Orleans. An estimated 500 enslaved people armed themselves and marched towards the city in a desperate bid for freedom. Their movement was quickly crushed by local militias and federal troops. Over 60 were killed in battle or executed afterward. Their heads were mounted on pikes along the Mississippi River as a warning. This revolt, though suppressed, stands as a powerful act of resistance in the face of brutality.
Yeah, there was like maybe 2 white people that died versus like 100 some odd people between who the militia killed plus who went to trial and was executed.
I can never say I'm shocked.
Right. The Louisiana State Penitentiary, known as Angola, sits on the site of a former plantation. After the Civil War, it became notorious for perpetuating slavery through the convict leasing system.
Ew.
Newly freed black men were often arrested under vague charges and leased out as laborers. Angola's legacy of racial injustice and prison labor persists today. See, I got that per.
Well, because that's PER.
But I wouldn't, yeah. With
people who read Harry Potter, in the 5th year, you have 2 people from each house, a boy and a girl, who become prefects. When I was telling Mackenzie about the prefects, she looked at me like I had 3 heads. And she's like, what are you talking about? What did you think they were?
Perfect. I thought they were called perfects.
So for this exact word persists, it's just getting PER.
Apparently I can't read PRE.
Apparently not.
I'm still really upset about this. With many inmates still working fields under armed guard, critics argue it is a modern extension of slavery in the Deep South, which they still do this.
Yeah, they do.
And apparently this prison is also like, the conditions of it are also terrible.
Shocking.
Right.
During Reconstruction, Black political power grew in Louisiana until it was met with white violence. In Colfax, Black residents defended the local courthouse after a disputed election. On Easter Sunday, a white mob, many of them former Confederate soldiers, attacked. An estimated 150 Black men were killed, some after surrendering. Federal charges were later dismissed in United States v. Cruikshank, weakening the government's ability to prosecute racial violence for decades.
Meaning, so it used to be that there was like one of the first Civil Rights Act that was passed was like being able to persecute like the Ku Klux Klan and things like that.
The bad ones, yes.
Correct. And then this ruling took that away.
Ah, nice.
For a long time.
Nice.
When the Mississippi River overflowed in the spring of 1927, it created one of the worst natural disasters in American history. Entire parishes were submerged and nearly 1 million people were displaced. In Louisiana, the flood laid bare racial and class divisions. Black men were forced at gunpoint to work on failing levees and kept in labor camps with poor conditions. Relief efforts were unequal, and the crisis accelerated the migration of Black families to northern cities in search of safety and dignity. This flood happened in like a bunch of states, not just Louisiana.
Oh, yeah, because the Great Mississippi Flood.
Right.
But yeah, Mississippi River.
Yeah. And so it was like Indiana, Texas, Louisiana, all that. And
dang,
500,000 Black people were displaced from their homes. There was more efforts to help white people, even like with saving them, like from drowning or whatever. And then also like to get them their stuff back, essentially. So yeah.
Wow.
So just another example.
Of course. So Storyville is New Orleans' red light district. Storyville was created by city ordinance in 1897 to confine prostitution to a specific part of New Orleans. While it became known for its music and nightlife, especially jazz, it was also a place of deep exploitation. Many women, especially women of color, were trafficked or coerced into sex work. Storyville was shut down in 1917 at the request of the U.S. Navy, displacing thousands of people. Its romanticized image often overlooks the violence, addiction, and poverty that permeated its streets.
Louis Armstrong lived there.
Oh.
Like, it truly was like, that's where people came together, and that was the start of jazz being created. Then when it shut down, some of them stayed in New Orleans, but then some went to places like Chicago, New York, things like that.
Oh, wow.
And that's how it helped spread.
I mean, minus the bad part of that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So that's like, that era is truly like the birth of jazz.
Oh, wow.
Essentially. And obviously, with Louis Armstrong living there.
Yeah.
I think there was a couple other names on the Wikipedia page that I recognized, and I can't remember them off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool, but bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, between May 1918 and October 1919, a string of gruesome axe murders terrified New Orleans. The unknown killer targeted Italian-American grocers and their families, often attacking them in their sleep. The Axeman taunted police and the public in a letter published in local newspapers, claiming he would spare anyone playing jazz music on a certain night. Despite multiple suspects, the murders were never solved. The case reflects not only a city gripped by fear, but also the xenophobia faced by immigrant communities.
Which is so wild because it says that jazz bars that night were insane because everyone was in the bar making sure that they were listening to jazz.
Oh, wow.
So that they were at home. But yeah, those jazz bars were packed because people were terrified of the Axeman.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you filling in some history for us.
I know.
I mean, that.
Tell me about serial killers and stuff. I got you.
Yeah.
In the Spanish colonial era, authorities in Pont-Coupé uncovered what they believed was a planned slave revolt. Nearly 60 people, both enslaved Africans and free people of color, were arrested. The investigation led to brutal torture, forced confessions, and public executions. Bodies were displayed as a deterrent to rebellion. While it's unclear how organized the plot truly was, the harsh response illustrates the deep fear colonial powers had of enslaved people asserting their humanity.
They would decapitate people and put their heads on a stick and show.
Well, that's what we read about at the first one too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seems, I guess, a common thing.
Yeah.
Which, if they did it here and then there was still a rebellion later, it obviously didn't work.
Right. Clearly.
Yeah. After the murder of Police Chief David Hennessy in 1890, suspicion fell on the city's Italian immigrant community. Though a jury acquitted several men, a mob of thousands stormed the jail on March 14, 1891, and lynched 11 Italian men. The incident is considered the largest mass lynching in U.S. history and led to a diplomatic rift between the United States and Italy. Italy was cut off ties.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It exposed the widespread xenophobia that immigrants, particularly Southern Europeans, faced in 19th century America. This is when the term mafia started to become part of, started to become a common term.
Oh.
And how they viewed Italians with their with the mafia and things like that. And so when this was happening, this is when we start to see the term mafia become more widely used.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
When Hurricane Katrina struck in August of 2005, it wasn't just the wind and water that devastated New Orleans. It was the government's failure to respond. I do remember this. It happened in 2005. We were, 11?
Yeah, well,
but
my grandparents were there.
Well, yeah, for you, definitely.
Yeah.
Poorly maintained levees broke, flooding much of the city. Rescue and relief efforts were slow and disorganized, especially in predominantly Black neighborhoods. Thousands were stranded without food or water, and many died in their homes or in overcrowded shelters. The tragedy of Katrina revealed how deeply race, poverty, and neglect are woven into the fabric of disaster response.
It was, so where my grandparents live, the way my dad explained it is that New Orleans is kind of like a bowl,
and
they live on the top end of the bowl.
Okay.
So they had to evacuate. They went and stayed with my aunt who lived in Austin, Texas at the time.
Oh, okay.
So they stayed with her for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And then when they could finally go back, they had to throw the refrigerator away.
Oh my
gosh. But they didn't have any flooding issues.
Yeah.
But I think they maybe had small water damage, but nothing comparatively to what other people had.
Yeah.
But when we went back for the first time, afterwards, you could still see the water line on a lot of the poles.
Oh my God.
And in some places, the water line was above my head. And it was so, I feel like it's come back a long way. Obviously, it was 20 years ago, which
wow,
is crazy to say. But right afterwards, it was like the spirit of that city was just not there.
Oh, absolutely.
It was just not there, and it was so sad. And I'm grateful that my grandparents were okay, and they really kind of lucked out in that situation.
Yeah.
But I mean, you still see houses that were damaged from that just the people never came back. It never got fixed.
Yeah.
So it was, yeah, that was scary.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So that's Louisiana.
That's Louisiana. Do you have the sound thingies?
We haven't tried them.
I know, but isn't thingy checked? Okay.
Why, do you have sound effects for your story?
No, but it's nice to have options.
So what story do you have tonight?
They say legends come from true events. This story is no different. So we're going to cover the legend that has been told and retold about Myrtles Plantation. And that's not Myrtles ', it's just Myrtles.
Oh, okay.
Then we're going to go over the information that we actually know is true.
Interesting. When I saw you put this on the thing, I was like, I swear we've talked about this before because Myrtles Plantation sounds so familiar. We haven't, but it sounds so familiar and I don't know why.
Maybe Myrtles? Like Myrtle Beach?
Maybe. But I could have sworn it was Myrtles Plantation something. But yeah, we haven't talked about this yet.
Yeah. Since this place is known as one of the most haunted places in America.
Of course it is.
Not just the state of Louisiana, but America. I've also included anecdotes from people who have stayed and or visited the plantation and experienced something possibly paranormal.
Love it.
Yeah. The most well-known legend tied to Myrtles Plantation centers around a ghost named Chloe. Her tale is one of tragedy and darkness. Listener discretion is advised.
Aren't they all?
Yeah. Myrtles Plantation is a historic home and former antebellum estate located in St. Francisville, Louisiana. And if that's not how you say that, then that's not how it should be spelled. Because it looks like Francisville. Francisville.
I believe you.
But
you also thought it was prefix and not prefix. So I don't know. Your credibility's going out the
Louisiana has
window.
a lot of French stuff.
They do.
So they all pronounce things. I mean, just look at the street name Chapatulas. That starts with a T.
Yes.
That's my favorite.
I know it is.
Chapatulas.
And when you went, you sent a picture and everything. It's like, oh, Mackenzie's at her favorite street.
Chapatulas. It's just so fun to say. Anyway, St. Francisville.
Okay.
Built in 1796, it has long been rumored to be the site of 10 murders.
Oh.
Though historical records don't really support that number. Despite the disputed body count, the house has earned a reputation as one of the most haunted in America, largely due to Chloe. According to legend, Chloe was an enslaved woman owned by Judge Clark Woodruff and his wife, Sarah. Though Woodruff was a respected figure in the community, the story suggests a sinister side. While his wife was pregnant with their third child, it is said that he forced Chloe into a non-consensual relationship. There's one that says that it was an affair, but most of them say that it was forced.
I could see more it being forced than anything else.
Yeah.
Even if she went along with it, it's because what else is she going to do?
Yeah, she has no choice. Out of fear or possibly jealousy, Chloe began eavesdropping on the Woodruff's private conversations.
Rob's fear.
Props. Some versions of the legend say she was trying to learn how to avoid punishment, while others claim she was worried about being cast out to the grueling fieldwork if she lost favor with Woodruff. Whatever the motive, Chloe was eventually caught listening in, and Woodruff allegedly had one or both of her ears cut off. From then on, Chloe was forced to wear a green turban to hide the disfigurement. The detail became a chilling part of the ghost story. Many visitors have reported seeing a woman in a green turban roaming the halls of the Myrtles. Chloe's tale takes a darker turn with her supposed act of revenge. While preparing a birthday cake for one of the Woodruff daughters, she allegedly added crushed oleander leaves, highly toxic, into the batter.
Oh.
Some versions say she only meant to sicken the family so she could nurse them back to health and regain her standing. Others believe she intended to harm from the start. Either way, the dose proved fatal. Sarah Woodruff, her 2 daughters, and her unborn child all died.
Oh my gosh.
After the poisoning, other enslaved people, fearing collective punishment, took matters into their own hands. Chloe was reportedly hanged and her body thrown into the Mississippi River.
So what happened to her owner?
He was just sad.
Oh, so he didn't get poisoned? He didn't?
No.
Okay.
Clark Woodruff.
He was just sad.
Clark Woodruff never used the children's dining room again, sealing it off for the rest of his life. Chloe's ghost is still said to haunt the Myrtles. She was even allegedly caught on film by a former owner, and postcards sold at the plantation still show the eerie image of a misty figure between two buildings.
Oh.
Her green turban spirit is often seen wandering the grounds, sometimes accompanied by the soft cries of children. Some guests report waking in the night to find her face staring at them at the edge of their beds.
No.
You're going to love this.
Oh, of course.
One mirror in the house is also said to hold spirits. According to old customs, mirrors were covered in mourning to prevent spirits from being trapped.
Oh, I have heard of that.
But legend says that this one mirror was overlooked after the Woodruff deaths. That's a hell of a name. And the souls of Sarah and her daughters became bound to it. Visitors occasionally report seeing their figures or handprints appear on the glass.
That's why, I always wake up in the middle of the night to pee.
Mm-hmm.
I will not look at myself in a mirror.
Yeah.
I look down, wash my hands, quickly go back to bed.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw the mirror thing, and I was like, ugh, don't like that. In 1834, the plantation passed to a new owner, Ruffin Sterling.
Oh.
Enchanted by the crepe myrtles surrounding the property, he gave it the name that we know today, Myrtles Plantation. So not someone named Myrtle.
Yeah.
Ruffin and his wife, Mary Cobb, expanded the house significantly, adding more rooms and grandeur to the estate. Their daughter Sarah eventually married a man named Their daughter Sarah eventually married a man named William Winter, who took over the plantation after Ruffin died of tuberculosis in 1854. Tragedy soon struck again. In 1861, William and Sarah's young daughter Kate fell ill with yellow fever. Desperate to save her, William called upon a local servant named Cleo, who was believed to practice voodoo. Cleo reportedly spent hours attempting to heal Kate, performing rituals and ceremonies. But her efforts were in vain. Kate died the next day. In a fit of grief and rage, William blamed Cleo for the loss and had her hanged.
They always blame the people who are trying to help.
Today, some believe Cleo's ghost still haunts the plantation, possibly even mistaken for Chloe by those who glimpse a woman in a headscarf roaming the halls.
Mm-hmm.
Kate supposedly appears in a room in which she died and has been reported to practice voodoo on people sleeping in the room.
Oh, no.
But the tragedies don't stop there. On a cold January day in 1871, William Winter was shot on the front porch of the Myrtles. The killer was never identified. According to legend, William managed to stumble back inside and climb up the stairs and collapse into his wife's arms on the 17th step, where he died.
Oh, that's a lot of steps.
Yeah.
It's like the 55 to get up to my old apartment.
I mean, no one would have made it up there. That very step is now infamous, and guests have claimed to hear heavy thuds of his final footsteps echoing through the stairwell.
Oh.
Sarah Winter died less than a decade later at just 44 years old. The spirits of her family and perhaps many others are said to linger at the Myrtles, trapped in time by sorrow, violence, and secrets long buried. There are a variety of other legends surrounding the Myrtles. The house is reportedly built over an Indian burial ground, and the ghost of a young Native American woman has been reported, which, what isn't built on a Native American burial ground?
Yeah.
During the Civil War, the house was ransacked by Union soldiers, and legend claims that 3 soldiers were killed in the house. Supposedly, there's a blood stain in a doorway roughly the size of a human body that will not or would not come clean.
Do we know how they died in the house?
I think they were killed.
Oh.
By someone.
Okay.
I mean, they were ransacking someone's house.
Right, okay.
So, other legends say that cleaners have been unable to push their mop or broom into that space.
Oh, interesting.
So the blood stain cannot go away.
Gross.
Yeah. So those are the legends. The story of Chloe, though captivating, appears to be historically inaccurate and just not true. While the U.S. federal census confirms that the Woodruff family owned 5 enslaved individuals in 1820 and 32 by 1830, there is no historical documentation of an enslaved woman named Chloe, C-H-L-O-E, or Chloe, C-L-O-E, connected to the family. So there's no variation of anyone named Chloe.
Right.
Additionally, the legend often claims that Sarah Woodruff and her 2 daughters were poisoned. However, records show that one of her daughters, Mary Octavia, lived well into adulthood.
Oh.
In truth, she also didn't have only daughters. She also had a son.
Oh,
in truth,
poor son, she's forgotten in history.
Yeah. In truth, Sarah and then her son James and then Cornelia Woodruff all died from yellow fever, not poisoning.
Okay.
So they had natural deaths.
Yeah.
They weren't killed by anybody.
Okay, yeah.
Despite the lack of evidence to support the Chloe narrative, many still claim to see the apparition of a woman in a green turban wandering the grounds of the Myrtles. Whether or not she was real, her spirit has become part of the lore that clings to the plantation. In reality, the history of the house is less dramatic, but no less tragic. When Ruffin Gray Sterling took ownership of the property and gave it the Myrtles Plantation, he left it to his wife, Mary, after his death. And the family faced significant loss. Of their 9 children, only 4 survived to adulthood.
Ugh.
Their eldest son, Louis, died the same year as his father. As for murder, there was only one confirmed killing that ever took place. It's not this 10.
Right.
And it was William Winter. He was shot on the premises, but he did not die on the 17th step, of the staircase, like the legend claims. He died where he fell.
Oh.
He was shot and then he fell and died.
No. He didn't even have a chance.
No, but it is still unsolved. They don't know who did it.
No.
But that's the only confirmed murder.
Right.
In the 1970s, the plantation entered a new era under the ownership of James and Frances Myers, who aimed to convert the estate into a bed and breakfast. In 1984, a Life magazine journalist visited to write about the home's ornate architecture and ironwork. But instead of focusing solely on the craftsmanship, the writer reported a much more chilling experience. He claimed to have seen 2 children during his stay who called out his name and then vanished.
That's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Later in the 1990s, Tita Moss and her husband John purchased the property from the Myers family. At first, Tita believed the ghost stories were nothing more than a clever marketing ploy. The couple moved into the top floor of the house with their 2 sons, while the lower floor operated as a bed and breakfast. But it didn't take long for strange things to begin. One day, Tita heard her husband's voice calling her name, despite the fact that he was working miles away in Baton Rouge.
Ew.
On another occasion, she heard her friend Annie's voice call out to her, but Annie wasn't there either. A friend with expertise in the supernatural later suggested that the spirits might have been mimicking familiar voices as a way to welcome Tita into their home. That's not how I would have taken it.
That's not how I would either.
They always say if you hear something that, sounds like that, don't go near it because they're trying to trick you.
Yep.
So that is not what that sounds like.
Yeah, no. Someone calling my name in a voice of a loved one when I know that person's not there.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that as, oh, welcome to the house. I'm taking that as, you don't want me here and you're trying to kill me.
Yeah. The strange encounters don't stop there. Tita recalled an unexplained scent of flowery perfume lingering in the air, which she believes may be connected to Sarah Williams, the widow of William Winter. And perhaps most chilling of all, her young son once saw a blonde girl in a white dress sitting atop a chandelier.
Okay.
The Myrtles Plantation has been the site of a few paranormal investigations over the years. Zach Baggins and the Ghost Adventures team visited the location in 2014 and aired an episode of their examination. I did not watch it. There they experienced unusual noises, captured audio recordings, and even saw a ball moving down the stairs as if a child were playing.
Gross.
The TAPS team of ghost hunters
I've heard of them.
visited the site in the early 2000s as well and did conclude that it was indeed haunted. Many Reddit posts have been written about this place and people's experiences. So Bertonesque_strange posted 4 years ago saying, I have a couple of stories from an evening where we were there in March of 2019. It was my gift to myself for landing a job, because why wouldn't I want to go to a haunted place for that?
Of course.
My mom and I took an evening tour. In the first room with the famous mirror that continuously smudges to look like a face even when it has been cleaned and polished, we were standing in the back corner right next to the closed door to the parlor. This is also next to the front door of the home with the large porch. We heard children giggling and talking quietly, and since there was no children on our tour, we assumed that a family with children was outside the front door waiting for another tour or just hanging out on the porch. A few rooms later, we made it to the other side of the door and into the parlor. Our guide stopped her story abruptly and apologized. She said the children were playing with her skirt and she needs to fix it.
Ew.
She then told us that the spirits of the children liked to play in the parlor and loved to mess with her dress. She said their favorite spot was in the corner by the door that my mom and I had been standing on the other side of.
Gross.
We looked at each other and both had goosebumps. So, Stairs Shine Fairy
Okay.
posted about their experience while staying the night at the Myrtles Plantation, which, no.
Is it still like a bed and breakfast?
Yeah, you can sleep there.
Oh.
Yeah. The first time, they did this 3
Right,
times.
yeah. Oh.
3 times she did this. The first time I slept at the Myrtles Plantation, we experienced things before it was even nighttime. I'd gone with my fiance, and we chose one of the cheaper rooms on the right side of the house. I can't remember the name of the room, but after going up the stairs, you took a right and went to the last room on the left. I believe they said a soldier had stayed in there and had lost a leg or a foot. Anyways, we got into the front door. We were overcome with the smell of cigar smoke. It was pungent and overwhelming, almost as if someone was standing next to us smoking one. I asked my fiance if he smelled it, and he said yes. It disappeared as quickly as it had come, but I brushed it off, thinking maybe someone had snuck a cigar hit from a different room, and we were possibly just catching a whiff of it. While we were walking into the room, I asked my fiance if he knew of the superstition about upside-down keyholes. Do you know about this?
No, what is this?
Apparently, this person explained that it's supposed to prevent spirits from entering the building. I didn't
Oh
know.
my gosh. So are all of the keyholes in this building upside down?
That's what I assumed since she was mentioning it.
That's
But she
actually
didn't
so cool.
but she didn't say that they were, but I'm assuming they must have been if she's mentioning
One
it.
of our doors downstairs is an upside down keyhole. You have to turn your key the other way.
Well, there you go.
Maybe our landlord did it so that no spirits could enter our home.
Well, that obviously didn't work because one took your watch thingy.
Oh, yeah, it did.
Maybe you need to have it on your door.
Yeah, my bedroom door.
Yeah. As soon as I finished my sentence, my fiance turned on the antique lamp in the room and the bulb exploded. It startled us, but I chalked it up to the lamp just being old.
Right.
We went to the gift shop and told the lady working there that the bulb needed to be replaced on the lamp, and so she sent the maintenance guy to go replace the bulb. We followed him to the room and he replaced it, but it wouldn't turn on, so he had to replace the whole lamp. We stayed in the room when he left so that we could unpack our drinks and snacks from our bags and get ready to explore the grounds. While unpacking, it sounded and felt like someone was hitting a cane against the floor. I could feel the vibration from where I was standing and told my fiance that something wasn't right. He said that maybe it was someone downstairs in the room below us banging a broom on the ceiling trying to tell us we were walking too loudly. The problem with that theory was that there wasn't a guest bedroom below us. It was the dining room, and there weren't any tours going on, nor were any guests allowed in that section of the house because it was locked up and off limits until tours.
And also, who would be doing that?
Exactly.
You're not going to be in the dining room just...
Right. To me, it sounded like someone hitting a cane on the floor to get someone's attention from below.
Ew.
We went outside and to the guest shop and asked if anyone was in the main part of the house and told her what happened. She told us that the room in the main entrance of the house was reserved, but the guest hadn't checked in yet, and that there wasn't anyone in that part of the house, nor could they get into the dining area because things were locked up. We thanked her and didn't make a big deal of it and went exploring. Fast forward to the night, this part's kind of funny. Fast forward to that night, we were both sound asleep until I woke up with the feeling of someone watching me.
Ew.
We had left the new lamp on so we could see if we woke up and had to go use the bathroom. Lie. You're both scared by that point.
Yeah, what other hotel have you, kept the lamp, the lamp on? Yeah.
Exactly. No.
No.
If you're going to keep a light on so you can see the bathroom, you keep the bathroom light on.
Right, and then
With
you
the
close the door.
bars, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you guys were fucking scared.
Oh, that's actually so funny.
Which
I mean, I can't blame them.
No. It would 100% be me too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But that was bullshit. I'm calling bullshit. Well, I woke up and could feel someone watching me. I turned towards my fiance thinking that he was awake and not able to sleep, but his eyes were closed and he was in a deep sleep. I sat up and scanned the room until I found the source of what was causing my feeling of being watched. Standing at the end of the bed, about 2 feet from it, I saw a man standing there with smoke swirling in front of his face like he had just taken a drag of a cigar.
No.
I had only seen the upper part of his body and he was staring at me. After about 10 seconds of staring back at him, I said, nope, and promptly laid my head back down on the pillow and pulled the blanket over my head and forced myself back to sleep.
I would not have been able to fall back asleep.
But I also get it of nope, I'm just gonna, we're gonna move on from that. We're not gonna address it.
We're not gonna, yep.
We're not gonna make that. No. The next morning, I told my fiance what happened. He asked why I didn't wake him up. I told him that I wasn't about to do anything else but go back to sleep. I didn't want us both to be awake staring at this ghostly man.
And then you're giving it more power.
Right. We left later that afternoon to head home, and then they went back 2 more times.
Wow.
I just didn't include all the stories she put.
Oh my
I
gosh.
just included the first one.
So did she have more experiences the next 2 times she went?
She had another one. There was a whole other story. I didn't read that one.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if she had an experience all 3 times, but at least 2 of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Most recently, there have been photos and videos posted of ghosts being seen in the house. In 2017, the plantation's website posted a picture of some guests standing in front of a row of windows. The post read, quote, not your average guest selfie. In a window behind the group of women appears to be a face.
That's kind of fun.
I have seen the picture, and there is definitely a face in the window.
Ew.
It's creepy. Another couple had gone to tour the plantation in 2021 and supposedly captured ghostly feet walking across their room. They didn't see the feet until they looked at the video later.
Ew.
The website linked that you supposedly watched the video didn't work, so I can't confirm anything.
Oh, that's a bummer.
There was, I forget what the investigation group is called, but I found this person who went on a specific investigation there, and they had slept there, and they had heard that apparently Chloe's ghost likes to pull up people's blankets for them. So they had the blankets at the end of the bed, and they said they woke up 3 times with their blankets all the way pulled up.
That's sweet.
I thought so too. They said that they thanked Chloe and then put the covers back down.
Oh.
So
Were they sleeping without covers?
I wasn't quite sure.
Ugh.
I was like, that's kind of what I thought. I was like, no blankets? Nothing?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Or was it just like the comforter or something?
Right. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
But I
I
don't know,
was definitely
some
more
people
focused
are
on the
weird.
fact of like, screw the ghost tucking you in. Why don't you have any blankets
Yeah,
on?
what's
Who
going on
sleeps like
here?
that?
Sociopaths.
Ghost tucking you in. In conclusion, whether born from fact or folklore, the stories that cling to the Myrtles Plantation have made it one of the most legendary haunted homes in America. From the tragic deaths of the Woodruff and Sterling families to the ghostly whispers that echo through the halls, the line between history and haunting continues to blur. Visitors leave with more questions than answers. Was that just the wind or something else entirely? One thing is certain, the Myrtles hold on to its secrets, and those who step inside may find that the past isn't quite as silent as it seems.
I'd go.
I know you
I'd
would.
go here.
I know.
See, I'll go to places that don't have like malevolent spirits or like mean spirits.
Mhm.
I'd go here.
Mhm.
Someone tucks you in. That's sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be tucked in, but that's sweet.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be stared at from the end of my bed, but like, I'd be like, can you please go? I don't like this.
Yeah. No.
But I'd go here.
That's nice. I wouldn't.
I know.
Although I'm sure it's very pretty.
Oh, I bet.
But no.
You go with me one day, we'd look at it.
From the outside?
Or we just like walk inside. And then you go wherever you need to go and I'll sleep there. With someone in the room with me. I'm not sleeping by myself.
I'm not going inside.
They're not scary inside.
But they're still in there.
Because I went to the Crescent Hotel when we were in Arkansas. And we like went up to a room and I kept expecting to see ghosts around every corner. There were not. But they leaned into like the ghostly thing because they had little like ghost figurines and they had
Yeah.
like shirts and stuff. So it wasn't creepy inside.
I know. I'm not thinking it's going to be creepy. I don't want something to happen.
It won't in like public if you're just there for like lunch or something.
But these people go on tours and like stuff happens
At
to them.
night.
I don't think it was at night.
At night.
When I was dog sitting, the name of the internet was Advanced Darkness. And the password was Doodlebob.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
Next time you go, how far from New Orleans is this?
Far.
Oh, I was going to say next time you go, just like drive by.
Because I think Baton Rouge is like over an hour from,
Oh,
and it's close to Baton Rouge. I think.
so it's not just like a little quick, like,
Uh-uh.
oh, let me go see.
No, but the last time I was in New Orleans, we were driving around the French Quarter and there was a house for sale and it said that it was haunted.
Oh, yeah. They do
So,
that there.
yeah.
They'll like tell you if it's haunted or not.
I'm sure every building in the French Quarter is haunted.
Oh,
It's been
absolutely.
around for so long.
And it's Louisiana and
That
New
too.
Orleans.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, I'm not going.
okay.
I'll drop you off.
Okay, thanks.
Come back and pick you up. Let me know how it goes.
Well, I liked your story. I liked the like truth and then the legends.
Yeah, it was like, obviously the real one is not as fun.
Right.
Pretty much no one really died of murder except for that one guy. Most people just died from a disease.
Which is also kind of scary, but
Yeah, which, typical back then.
yeah, very
Especially
typical.
yellow fever in the
Yeah.
South, mosquitoes.
Yeah, that one didn't sound too great.
No, not at all. But yeah, I mean, it looks pretty.
Yeah, I bet.
So,
I'll see when you post the post.
yeah, the one with the picture and the ghost behind it, I'm like, that's definitely creepy. But I would also you could make an argument of like, was that put there?
Mm-hmm.
And, like was the picture edited?
Are you going to add that?
The picture? Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Then we'll be able to see.
Yeah.
Well, nicely done.
Thanks. I started this on Friday night when my cousin came over, and I had just read the thing about the mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, no way.
Yeah.
And so I just like kind of like set up how I was going to do it. Just wrote like a sentence or here to like, okay, this is the order I want to put the information. And I closed my computer and she's like, are you done? I was like, no, but I can only do so much ghost reading at night. And I'm going to have to finish this during the day.
Yeah.
So
I do most of my research during the day anyways, so I'm
Yeah.
good.
But yeah, the mirror thing just kind of,
Yeah, I don't love it.
that one freaked me out a little bit.
I don't love it.
Apparently there's like always like hand smudges and stuff on there, even when you try to clean it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And you'd see that during the daytime.
You would, yeah.
I don't want to go.
Then you don't have to, Mackenzie.
Thanks. I gotta go potty.
Oh my God.
What spooky tea you pouring, Lauren?
I got a whole slew of things for you tonight.
Yeah, you got a bunch.
All right. Annie Beatrice McQuiston, also known as what?
Okay. And you know how sometimes I go, oh, scaly.
Okay.
That's how it sounds when you say McQuiston.
McQuiston. Yeah, there's no way to say it.
McQuiston.
Also known as Toni Jo Henry.
Wait. Same person?
Huh?
What's first? Toni and who?
Annie.
Toni?
Annie Beatrice McQuiston, also known as Toni Jo Henry.
Okay.
Toni, Toni.
Okay.
Jo, J-O.
Yeah.
It's like the female spelling of both.
Which one does she go by?
We'll get into it.
Okay.
She is the only woman in Louisiana history to have been put to death by electric chair.
Damn.
Annie was born near Shreveport, Louisiana on January 3rd, 1916, and was the third of 5 children. Annie was known to be spirited, but when she was only 6 years old, her mother died from tuberculosis, and from there, her happy spirit also died.
You know what's crazy is like how terrible and how much of a problem tuberculosis was back then. Obviously, we have a cure for it now,
Right.
but you still have to get TB tested.
Yeah.
It's just wild. Everyone, like every story we tell,
I
died by
know.
tuberculosis.
I know. Yeah. Her sisters were set on becoming nurses, studying for that as much as possible, while her brothers took jobs as laborers. But at the time, Annie didn't want any of that. Then, at the age of 13, Annie picked up a job in a macaroni factory.
Nice.
But she was fired shortly after she started when her boss found out that her mother had died from TB.
Oh.
When she came home and broke the news to her father that she had been fired, he severely beat her. And with that, Annie vowed to leave home and never return, and that is exactly what she did. She found her way to a brothel where she started working as a sex worker. Annie was petite and very pretty with jet black hair and, quote, sultry black eyes.
But she's a baby.
She's 13, yeah.
Oh, that's icky.
I know. So finding customers wasn't an issue for her. It was at the age of 13 when Annie started to go by the name Toni Jo. This is when she also regularly began to use alcohol, marijuana, and cocaine. She got involved in the darker side of Shreveport. She was arrested several times during her teen years, but usually was able to avoid jail time due to her age, even after being arrested for assaulting a man. She had snipped his ear with some scissors.
She had what, his ear?
Snipped his ear.
I thought you said stimped. I was
Nope.
like, I don't know what that is.
Snipped his ear with some scissors.
Probably deserved it.
Honestly, probably. Then when she was 23, Annie met Claude Cowboy Henry while she was working at the brothel.
His actual name?
Probably nickname.
Okay.
Claude Henry is his name, but his nickname was Cowboy.
That's dumb. I bet he gave himself that nickname.
Maybe. I mean, he was from Texas.
Yeah, but it's not cool to give yourself a nickname.
Maybe someone else gave it to him. We don't know. I don't go into the history of this nickname.
I just assume they don't turn into good people. So, like,
Not really.
I assume
so.
he's, the type of guy to be like, yeah, they call me Cowboy. No one calls him Cowboy.
Honestly, maybe.
Yeah.
So Cowboy was 26 years old. Well, we call him Cowboy.
Okay.
Claude. No, Cowboy.
And how old is she at this time?
When she was 23,
Okay.
she met Claude Henry.
So not icky.
No.
That's good.
But they met while she was at the brothel.
So icky.
Kind of. Cowboy was 26 years old and was a down-on-his-luck boxer with a history of petite crimes
Pick a thing.
and violence.
You can't be called Cowboy, but then box.
Who knows? Maybe that was his stage name.
I don't think boxers have stage names. It's not wrestling.
I don't know. I don't know how boxing works.
I can see that.
Like you do.
I don't.
Okay, then.
But I
So
definitely
it
know a
could be
cowboy
thing.
and a boxer are not the same.
They're not. Cowboy was already on bond for a beer garden brawl he had gotten into in San Antonio.
Side note, when Dad and I were trying to find things to do in Florida when it was raining, there was a place called the Beer Spa.
Oh, I've heard of those.
Absolutely not.
I wanted to go to one when I went to Belgium.
I doubt the one in Florida is as nice as one would be in Belgium.
Probably not. We ended up not going because it just didn't fit into our 2 days that we were there,
Yeah.
but it was on my list.
Yeah.
I want to go one day. It's apparently very rejuvenating. And then you get to drink beer, not from your bathwater, like other beer, but...
So gross. Ugh.
Okay. When he met Toni Jo, he fell in love, and so did she. The two quickly got married on November 25th, 1939, by a justice of the peace and went to Southern California for their honeymoon. While on their honeymoon, Cowboy was able to slowly wean Toni Jo off of the drugs that she was addicted to.
Not that bad of drugs.
After their honeymoon, the happy couple returned to Louisiana. But little did they know that Cowboy was being looked for, and when they returned, Cowboy was arrested for the murder of a Texas man that he had committed before his marriage. In January of 1940, just 2 months after the two had tied the knot, Cowboy was found guilty and sentenced to 50 years in the Texas State Penitentiary at Huntsville, Texas.
Talk about bad luck.
That sucks. When Toni Jo heard the sentence, she cried out, "I'll get you out, Cowboy. Don't worry."
He's going to have to change his nickname from Cowboy to Outlaw.
It was February 1940, and Toni Jo hated the idea that her husband, whom she had just married, was in prison, especially on what should have been their first Valentine's Day together. So she thought up the perfect Valentine's Day gift for him.
Yeah, I'm so sad my husband killed someone and got consequences for it. What the fuck?
Toni Jo began contemplating different plans for how to break her husband out of prison.
Oh, no.
So she reached out to her friend and accomplice, Harold Finnan Archie Burks. He's going to go by Archie.
Okay.
Archie, as he went by, had just been released from Huntsville, the same prison Cowboy was in. And Archie,
And this is in Texas, yes?
Yeah, so the prison's in Texas. They
yeah.
live in Louisiana.
Right. Okay.
Archie was already looking to get back into trouble. He told Toni Jo that he had detailed knowledge of the jail, and Toni Jo knew immediately that would come in handy. They devised a plan for how they would break Cowboy out of prison. Their plan included stealing a car, then robbing a bank, as they would obviously need money to get him out of prison. And Archie knew of the perfect bank. The bank was a small one that Archie knew about his small hometown in Arkansas. So they prepared for their little crime spree by arming themselves with guns that some of Toni Jo's Shreveport dark side acquaintances had gotten for her.
Oh my God, there's so many illegal things happening here. There's so many illegal things happening. I'm like, this is not going to turn out well. Everything you're doing is against the law.
She and Archie then posed as newlyweds, with their cover story being that they were just newlyweds traveling around the U.S. Toni Jo and Archie didn't have a car, so until they had one, they planned to hitchhike towards Arkansas and their intended bank. They made it to Orange, Texas, about 2.5 hours from Huntsville, and were keeping a lookout for the right car to steal when a lucky break and the perfect car came along. Or prefect car, if you will.
Too soon. Too soon.
Joseph P. Calloway, 41, was on his way to a friend's house to return the Ford Coupe, right? For a car, coupe?
I think so.
Okay.
Coupe de Ville?
I don't know, it was just a Ford Coupe. So he was returning that, and he was driving when he happened upon Toni Jo and Archie. This is the exact type of car they were looking for. It was new and fast, and very capable of outrunning the police when the jailbreak happened. Being a nice guy, Calloway stopped and offered the pair a ride. The two climbed in, and the three continued on their way. Just as the car was nearing Jennings, Louisiana, where Calloway was dropping off the car, Toni Jo and Archie pulled a gun on him. They got him to pull off the main highway onto a small country road, then stopped the car. They forced Calloway out of the car, stole his wallet, which only had about $15 in it, but in today's money, that would be about $345. So that's a bit of money. They forced him into the trunk, where they locked him in before getting back into the car and driving down the country road. The pair now had a car to use as their getaway vehicle for when they robbed the bank.
But he's still in the trunk.
Yes.
So now we have kidnapping.
Yep.
Cool.
And car
theft.
Car theft, grand theft auto, if you will.
Right.
But they quickly changed their minds.
The guns, I'm sure, are not legal either.
Oh, no. They were procured in a very illegal manner from her very illegal friends.
Correct. Okay,
yes.
So we got at least gun charges, kidnapping, and grand theft auto.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And stealing, because they stole his wallet.
Right. And theft.
And theft, yep. That would be a felony theft because it's over $200.
Well, no, it's $15.
But I don't know how that works in their time. Maybe like $10 is felony.
I don't think so, but
who knows? Okay. So they quickly changed their minds and pulled the car over again and forced Calloway out of the car. That is when they forced him to undress. Toni Jo thought his outfit might look nice on Cowboy, and anyways, Cowboy would need something to change into when they freed him. Calloway was then ushered behind a haystack, told to kneel and say his prayers. As he was doing so, Toni Jo shot him once in the head, right between the eyes, with a .32 caliber revolver.
And now murder.
He died immediately. Add it to their list.
Yeah, no wonder she gets the death penalty.
Toni Jo and Archie left him there and got back in the car, driving through the night until they got to Camden, Arkansas, the location of the bank they wanted to rob.
Oh, that's right.
Because we still have robbery on the
we
brain.
haven't gotten that far yet.
Right.
To get the money to break him out of jail.
Yeah, which is also probably all just felonies.
Correct.
The two booked a cheap hotel nearby. But Archie was unnerved. He hadn't planned on them killing anyone, and seeing Toni Jo kill a man in cold blood terrified him.
Yeah.
So while Toni Jo was sleeping, Archie snuck out of the room and left in the car, taking Cowboy's new outfit with him. The next morning, Toni realized she had been stranded without the car. Using the last of her stolen money, she bought a bus ticket back to Shreveport and went to her aunt's house to lay low. Toni Jo's aunt could tell that something was wrong with Toni Jo, but Toni Jo didn't give her any answers. Her aunt was worried, so decided to call her husband, who was a cop, to ask him what to do. But
The aunt's husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
So technically, I guess her uncle.
Yeah.
But it turns out that he was on vacation, which I thought was weird that she wouldn't know that her own husband was on vacation. So I'm wondering if maybe it just reported wrong and maybe it was her brother. Because it would make sense
Yeah.
if you don't know your siblings on vacation, but it'd be very weird if you didn't know your husband was on vacation.
Yeah.
Anywho, because I checked back too in the article I was reading, I was like, it said husband. Okay, we're just going to go on then.
Yeah.
So she explained her concerns about her niece with one of her husband's colleagues, Sergeant Dave Walker. Walker agreed to come by the aunt's house and interview Toni Jo to see what else was up.
So many things.
Sergeant Walker knew that Mr. Calloway had been reported missing, but he wasn't prepared for the interview with Toni Jo that followed. She first gave him a revolver that had 1 bullet fired and 5 live rounds still in it. She told him how she had planned the jailbreak and had teamed up with Archie. They had stolen a whole host of weapons from the gun shop. So I guess they got even more weapons, so more stealing on top
They
of this.
stole from the gun shop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
even though it would have been a reputable sale, it's not because they stole it.
Correct.
Got it.
They were also planning on robbing a bank. She stated that she intended to use all of this that had been stolen as bribe money to shorten Cowboy's sentence.
Bitch, shut up. What are you doing?
Oh, you asked me one time? Yeah, let me tell you everything.
Here's the gun I used.
Right, and here's our entire plan.
What the fuck? Dumbass.
During the interview, Toni Jo revealed the murder and disclosed the location of the body.
Was she overcome with guilt?
No, I literally don't know why. Don't know why. But Sergeant Walker was hesitant to believe that a murder had taken place as one had not been reported and no car or body had been found. But with his confession...
She gives you a gun that's missing a bullet, tells you someone's murdered, tells you where you can find that person.
Oh, he wasn't stupid, though. He wasn't stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With her confession, he arrested Toni Jo.
Okay, good. I was like, no way is he about to walk out of this house.
And handed her over to the Lake Charles police.
Okay.
Because she's from Lake Charles area.
Which I'm assuming is in Shreveport.
It has to be, yeah.
Yeah.
They got Toni Jo to show them where Calloway's body was. The bullet that had killed him was removed during the autopsy and sure enough matched the gun that Toni Jo had given Walker. The Ford was also soon discovered abandoned in Arkansas, still containing Calloway's clothes in it, as well as a cigarette with lipstick on it. Toni Jo was finally formally charged with murder, but refused to give up any additional information about her accomplice because she was displeased with the way she was being reported in the news.
This woman is so stupid. Like, this woman is so stupid. From the jump, when you told me what her plan was, I was like, this is not going to end well. Did I think that she was going to rat herself out? No. Like, literally, shut up.
I know. She's like making their job too easy.
Like, you 100% she could have gotten away with it.
Oh,
It was
easily.
the 1940s.
Easily. And his body hadn't even been found. And you
And
know
then
Archie was
she-
not going to say anything.
Right. And then she's like, well, let me not throw under the bus the guy that abandoned me and put me into this whole revealing mess.
Well, she never technically said she shot the gun. And we will get to that.
But she's still not willing to give up what's his name, even
know.
though he screwed her over. That's crazy.
Eventually, she was persuaded to talk and gave more information about Archie.
Okay, good.
Who was soon arrested, brought back to Louisiana, and charged with murder as well. They were to be tried separately. The first trial for Toni Jo was held from March 27th to 29th, 1940. Her trial gained a large amount of press coverage, partly due to her good looks, the possibility of the death penalty, and the severity of the charges. The courtroom was so absolutely packed.
I wonder if she'll have pretty privilege.
There were more people in the courtroom than there were seats, and at times there were so many people that views of the jury were blocked by those there to watch the trial. A lot were there to demand the death penalty for Toni Jo.
So that's not how that works.
Maybe in 1940s courts.
Nope. That's not how it works.
Just in the crowd. Death penalty, death
Right.
penalty. During her trial, she claimed that Archie was the one who had pulled the
It's not
trigger.
like a suggestion box. Like, it's not how that works.
During her trial, she claimed that Archie was the one who had pulled the trigger and fired the fatal shot. See, so there. She's saying it wasn't me, it was him.
No, because everything else she did was fucking stupid.
But after only 6 hours of deliberation, the jury found Toni Jo guilty and she was sentenced to death by hanging. Toni Jo eventually appealed her sentence and was actually granted a new trial. The second trial was held in February of 1941. In this trial, unlike in her first, Archie Burks took the stand and testified against her. This time, there was only 1 hour of deliberation, and Toni Jo was again convicted and sentenced to death.
Do we know what his turned out to be?
I'll get to it, yeah.
Okay.
And yet again, she appealed and again was granted a new trial.
So she does have pretty privilege.
Her third trial took place in January of 1942. Yet again, she was convicted and sentenced to death. She appealed again, but finally her appeal was denied.
That's crazy.
Toni Jo was incarcerated at Lake Charles Prison, and while there, she befriended the head of the local Catholic parish, Father Wayne Richard.
Uh-oh.
He would eventually baptize her. There's nothing wrong with him. She gets some privileges for being godly and stuff.
All that religious bullshit.
You know. As Toni Jo had been going through her trials, Louisiana changed their method of execution from hanging to death by electrocution. 4
I'd rather
days.
get shot.
Well, that's not your option.
But like,
Your options at this point are hanging or electrocution.
it's crazy to me that no one thought, let's just shoot him. That's the
That comes
most
later,
humane
I
at that
think.
point.
Yeah. And I feel like that one's better too because they do the thing where everyone has, like, one person will have a bullet and
Mhm.
everyone else has blanks that will also make a sound and give you a kickback. So when you shoot someone, you don't know who did it.
Yeah.
So it could have been your gun, but you don't know.
Oh.
So it kind of takes away, if they have any humanity, the blame of having to kill someone, even though they're on death row. But, like, you know.
Versus flipping a switch.
Right, but then that way, like, you're the one who flipped the switch kind of thing. You don't all have your hands on the switch at the same time.
All right, on 3 now, everybody.
Ugh, perfect for gallows humor right here, I'm saying. All right. 4 days before her execution, just before Thanksgiving 1942, Cowboy was able to escape from prison to see his wife one last time.
Wow. If he wanted to, he would, ladies.
So his plan was to kidnap the judge who had given his wife the death sentence and hold him hostage until Toni Jo was free.
That is also a stupid plan. That's dumb.
I'm not saying they're smart.
Like her plan was better than his.
A little bit, yeah. Like, how do you expect to find the judge, get him, kidnap him, hold him hostage?
And make sure she gets out of jail and that you also then get away.
Right. Okay, this lady said there's 3 different pronunciations for this place. He was recaptured in Beaumont, Texas, where he was hiding out. So he didn't make it to Toni Jo. While in prison, Toni Jo experienced a lot of preferential treatment.
Pretty privileged.
One of those being that she was allowed one last phone call. Cowboy and Toni Jo were allowed one last call with each other. Quote, "I know it has to come and I'm ready for it, honey," Toni Jo told Cowboy. "I'm glad to have known you for the short time I did. I'm sorry that things had to turn out this way. You've got to live right, Claude. Hurry up and get the prison suit off and walk out the front door like a man so your mother will be proud of you," she told him. "Go straight and try to make something of your life."
He's got 50 years in jail.
I know.
He's not going to be able to walk by the time he gets out.
Throughout their conversation, Cowboy just sobbed.
Don't, no. No. This is not romantic.
I know!
No. Not sweet, not cute. No.
I know, they're both murders. Like, it's not good.
Right.
I feel so bad for people. Ugh. Okay. The day of
But
our...
they put them
I know!
They're not good people.
They're not good people. Bad people.
So we don't feel bad for bad people.
No bad feelings.
What?
Right. We don't feel bad.
Right.
The day of her execution, Toni Jo was oddly cheerful, talking to reporters and smiling for photos. For last wishes, she only asked that her companion, a small black and white puppy, be given to her niece.
She had a fucking dog in jail?
Being allowed to have a small puppy while on death row was another one of those special privileges that Toni Jo got while in prison.
What the fuck?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
And she wanted to be buried with a crucifix in her left hand. When asked if she had any last words, she said, "I believe not." But while awaiting her execution, she admitted that she had lied about Archie and that she had been the killer. She was indeed the one who had pulled the trigger. She wore a black dress and black pumps and was allowed to wear a brightly colored scarf to hide her recently shaved head, the scarf being another privilege. So she got her head shaved and she's crying the whole time about it. And she was like, "You can't let me walk out with all the reporters seeing my shaved head." So the guards tried very hard to find a very pretty scarf for her to wear around her head. So when she went to her execution and people took photographs of her, they wouldn't see that she was bald. She just had a pretty scarf on.
It's shocking to me that she didn't escape jail with how much she's got these people wrapped around her finger.
I know. Like, hey, can you just let me out the front door, please?
She's got a fucking puppy?
Uh-huh.
That's
A puppy for her while
crazy.
she was on death row
That's insane.
to keep her company.
There was no one else on death row?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
On November 28th, 1942, at 12:05 p.m., Toni Jo Henry was executed by electric chair, where she became the first woman to be executed by that method in Louisiana. She was declared legally dead at 12:12 p.m.
You said 12
12:12 p.m.
and
It started at 12:05. So
7 minutes.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Gross. So with Cowboy. Soon after, due to poor health and a failing heart, Cowboy was paroled.
What? That's
It's-
how that works.
Sometimes they do that, though. They will let you out of
so sickly that like
they'll let you out of prison because then it becomes like a more humane thing. They do it in Orange is the New Black, where or was it Wentworth? One of those shows, they let someone out early because of the failing health, and they're like, it's the humane thing to do to like let them out of prison, I guess.
Well, yeah, they probably aren't going to harm anybody.
Right. But he was soon shot and killed just 3 months later on July 15th, 1945, by a cafe owner in Dallas after they got into a brawl.
Damn.
And as for Archie, he was later convicted as well and was sentenced to death. He got the chair the next year on March 22nd, 1943.
Moral of the story, don't do illegal things.
Right. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, y'all are getting a twofer
Ooh.
because I also have a haunted location.
Ooh.
That would be the Calcasieu Parish Courthouse.
Mm.
The courthouse was built in 1912, but has since been added to the National Register of Historic Places, so it's had many years of haunts, but probably the most notorious ghost said to haunt the courthouse is our girl, Toni Jo.
Yeah, I'd haunt the shit out of that place too.
The reason she is said to haunt the courthouse makes a lot of sense, as her execution took place in the Calcasieu Courthouse. So that is where the electric chair was located, was down in the basement.
Ooh.
Staff members and the general public have reported hearing
Wonder if the lights flickered
Ew. Oh, God, maybe.
because of like all the electricity.
Yeah. Gross. Staff members and the general public have reported hearing a ghostly whisper as well as screams. There are also many electrical mishaps that go on here. Equipment will start and stop on its own, and the lights will flicker.
When was the last time the electrical was updated?
Who knows?
Right.
Toni Jo's perfume has been smelled, and her final footsteps to the chair are sometimes heard.
People know what the fuck she smells like.
They called it old-timey cheap perfume.
Damn. Damn.
And some unlucky visitors have noticed the smell of burning hair.
Ooh.
There is also an intense feeling of being watched by someone when no one is around. And those are the only haunts at the Calcasieu Courthouse.
Can you imagine you go to court, you're on trial for something, and the whole time ghosts are fucking with you? That'd be so annoying.
That would be really annoying.
Like, I'm already in a shitty position and you're taunting me.
Thankfully, though, I don't think you would be held at the courthouse, so you'd only have to deal with the hauntings while you're there for trial,
Mhm.
and then you could go back to your, like, awful jail cell.
Well, yeah, but like, I still want to be messed with.
No.
So, okay, well, one more place I'm not going to go.
The Calcasieu Courthouse.
Correct.
Which is just so fun to say.
Calcasieu.
But yeah, so that's Calcasieu and Toni Jo.
Wow.
I know, we took a lot of twists and turns.
We did. We ended up exactly where I assumed we were going to. I just didn't think it'd be so direct.
I know.
Like, I thought there'd be a little bit more like
chasing,
Yeah.
searching,
I
detective
was
work.
honestly kind of rooting for her. I was like, if she gets through the bank robbery, I kind of want to see if she can get him out.
I was like super excited for the bank robbery
Yeah.
because when I first picked this one, it's like, on Murderpedia, that's where I'll go sometimes.
Yeah.
It'll give you like a little brief description of what happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, bank robbery, woman in love, getting her husband out. Yes.
Yeah.
And then we don't even get to the bank robbery.
No, and then she literally just gives up. She was
And
like,
she kills like a super innocent, nice man.
yeah. But she gets a fucking puppy in jail, so.
I know. Like, that's insane.
That's crazy.
And yeah, she got a couple other privileges. I can't remember what it all said, but it was just like she would be able to eat with like the guards sometimes. Like she got all of the privileges because she was known as being in the public and in the media and everything. She was just known as being beautiful. Like she was the prettiest person kind of thing.
Pretty privilege. It's a real
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I will say, I felt bad for her when her husband got arrested like a month after they got married.
Yeah, that really sucks. But it's also like, you shouldn't have killed someone.
You know, actions have consequences.
Like he was on bond already for other crimes and other violence and things.
Yeah. Wonder if she knew. Did she know?
I think she did.
Okay.
I think she did.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, good story though.
Thank you. So yeah, that's Louisiana.
I'm proud that neither one of us did New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah, look at us.
We branched out.
We did branch out
Yeah,
because New Orleans is so easy to find a creepy or haunted place.
100%.
But we didn't.
We didn't. We went
So
elsewhere.
for that, rate and review us.
Yeah,
So stay scary.
and stay safe.